In Macau, police surveillance is suddenly compromised. Inside the control room, the officer monitors a flicker. As a pro hacker, Meng hacks into the system, feeding fake footage into the network. One officer notices brief static on his screen, but when it clears, he dismisses it as a minor glitch. Moments later, an alarm sounds. A major bank vault has been breached. Police units are immediately dispatched, and the citywide AI surveillance system named Spice is activated. The system scans every camera in Macau and flags a suspect vehicle leaving the area. Officers track the car in real time and rush to intercept it. When they arrive at the location shown on screen, the street is empty. Back at headquarters, officers realize the truth. The surveillance footage is fake. The hackers have already escaped. The next day, investigators confirm that only one vault was accessed. It belongs to a wealthy businessman. What was stolen is not cash, but a notebook containing half of the encryption key to his cryptocurrency wallet, valued at hundreds of millions. At Macau Tower, a digital asset management company is taken over. The heist crew infiltrates the offices and quickly subdues employees. Staff members are beaten and forced into compliance. Inside, Men connects to the system and grants access to Wong, the crew's ringleader. As they retrieve the second half of the encrypted key, they discover something unexpected. The same virtual vault holds a far larger account belonging to a top crypto executive, protected by military-grade security and worth billions. Wang orders the data copied as well. Their Godfather objects. He tells them not to waste time. The job was never meant to go this far, but his sons ignore him. Before the download finishes, police units arrive at the tower. The crew flees toward the elevators. The Godfather remains behind in the lobby, seated at a cafe, allowing him to leave without drawing suspicion. As he walks out, a barista accidentally captures his image while photographing the commotion. The rest of the crew exits the elevator and is immediately spotted by officers. A chase breaks out inside the tower. Civilians are knocked aside as the thieves fight their way through the crowd. When they reach a blocked exit, police catch up. A violent hand-to-hand fight erupts. During the struggle, the crew seizes Captain Yao as a hostage. With their boss in danger, officers are forced to stand down. The thieves retreat into the elevator with him. As the elevator ascends, Yao fights back. Outnumbered, he is subdued and handcuffed to the railing. On the observation deck, the crew removes their parachutes and prepares to escape. With the elevators disabled, he escapes the tower by tackling a bungee jumper, landing safely below. The thieves parachute onto the roof of Casino Wynn Macau. Another police team is waiting. A second fight breaks out. The crew easily overwhelms the officers and uses hidden tools in their masks to descend again. As they move through the hotel, they constantly change disguises, blending in as tourists and staff. Meng deletes security footage in real time. Spice begins to fail. Soon, the surveillance system shuts down completely. Inside the hotel, Yao switches to body camera tracking. Officers scan faces manually, hoping to identify the thieves. The Godfather arrives in disguise and deliberately causes distractions to pull attention away from his sons. Yao briefly spots Meng and recognizes an earring from the earlier fight. He gives chase, but Meng blends into a cafeteria crowd by posing as a customer. When the system flags a face missing from the database, officers split up. The Godfather deliberately bumps into an officer, smearing the camera lens. Taking advantage of the chaos, the crew changes disguises again. One poses as a woman, another becomes an elderly man. During a light show in the lobby, they slip into the crowd, jump into a decorative pit, and escape beneath the platform. The heist is complete. Back at the police station, the wealthy businessman storms in, furious. He shouts at officers and smashes objects in the room, demanding answers. His cryptocurrency account has been emptied. The stolen encryption key has been used. The team reviews what little footage survived the hack. With Spice now compromised, they have no reliable way to track the thieves. During the discussion, Zumai makes a decision. She says it is time to bring back her former superior, a man who worked long before AI surveillance existed. Yao objects. He argues that an old man will not understand modern digital crime. Zumai shuts him down. She explains that Spice is useless now, and what they need is someone who knows how to do surveillance the old-fashioned way. Two officers, Jin and Kyuguo, are sent to recruit the retired expert. They arrive in a quiet neighborhood and are surprised by what they see. The man they are looking for, Wong, is casually walking dogs. He looks nothing like a legendary surveillance expert. Kyuguo later follows Wong to a cafe. Wong sits at her table without being invited. He calmly reveals that he has noticed her and Jin following him all day. He calls her by name. Kyuguo is stunned. Wong reveals he knows exactly who she is. She is the daughter of his former partner, the man who died years earlier during an operation. Wang points out every mistake the two officers made while tailing him. He even returns Jin's police badge, which he had already stolen without being noticed. Not long after, Wang appears at the police station. He studies the footage collected from body cameras and hotel security. After only a few minutes, he identifies every member of the heist crew. They all made the same mistake. They looked directly at the cameras to check whether they were still active. Meanwhile, at their hideout, the Godfather confronts his sons. Furious over their disobedience, he beats Meng for wasting time and nearly getting them caught. When another son steps in to defend him, the Godfather strikes him as well. The tension escalates until a knife is drawn. The sons work together to restrain the Godfather before things go further. Back at the station, Wang studies still images pulled from the footage. He notices a man in a long coat appearing repeatedly. The police then receive the photo taken by the barista at Macau Tower. The face matches. Wang recognizes him immediately. He identifies the man as a former intelligence officer, known decades earlier as Shadow, a member of an elite assassination unit during the war. Wang explains that the Shadow vanished in the late 1990s after leaving the force in pursuit of wealth. Wang believes Shadow has returned. Zumai tells him they no longer have a surveillance unit. It was replaced entirely by spies. Wang says he wants to build one anyway. Wang is skeptical. Training effective surveillance officers takes years. Later, Chu Guo is in the gym, trying to train. Other officers mock her size and question her ability. She ignores them until one pushes too far. Chu Guo snaps and takes him down in front of everyone. Wang witnesses the fight. Later, he congratulates her in private and tells her she has earned their respect. That night, Wang drinks alone on the rooftop and remembers the operation that killed Chu Guo's father. He silently promises to protect her. The next day, Wang announces the formation of a surveillance team. Chu Guo immediately signs up. Wang begins training them to disappear in plain sight. He teaches them how to move without exposing themselves as police and how to memorize even the smallest details. On their first day in the field, the team blends into the streets as civilians. Wang keeps Chu Guo hidden inside the van. She is his secret weapon. Whenever an officer makes a mistake, Wang steps out personally to scold them. 12 days pass. Meng proposes one final operation so the family can retire for good. He has located the server connected to the crypto executive's account, but the vault is nearly impossible to breach. A flashback reveals the truth about the crew. All of them were orphans. The Godfather used to visit them, bringing money and protection. When police hunted him years earlier, the boys hid him. They have been together ever since. On the 15th day of surveillance, Chu Guo steps out to buy food. On her way back, she sees a group of drunk men attacking women in an alley. Wang orders her to stay in cover and call it in. Chu Guo ignores him and intervenes. A fight breaks out. She lands a few hits, but is quickly overwhelmed. Wang appears and incapacitates the attackers in seconds, allowing the women to escape. Back in the van, Wang explodes in anger. Chu Guo argues that they are not doing real police work. Wang finally tells her the truth about her father. He explains that they were undercover for 8 months. Wang broke cover to stop a crime, nearly getting himself killed. Chu Guo's father tried to save him and was shot instead. Wang tells her that a police officer must stay rational. Moments later, Wang spots the Godfather at a nearby market. Wang alerts the surveillance team and orders them to quietly surround the market. He tells everyone to stay in position and avoid drawing attention. The Godfather moves through the crowd, unaware he is being watched. Wang assigns Chu Guo to tail him up close. She is the only one the Godfather has never seen before. As she follows him, 2 officers nearly expose themselves. To hide their faces, they suddenly kiss in public. The Godfather does not notice. Chu Guo pretends to search for something on the ground. Using a reflective surface, she confirms the Godfather's identity. Wang instructs everyone not to turn around or move their cameras. The Godfather leaves the market without suspicion. The team follows him from a distance and tracks him to a residential building. Chu Guo decides to enter the building as well. Inside, the Godfather recognizes her from the market and reaches for his knife. At the same time, Wang reviews the footage again and notices something alarming. The Godfather looked at Chu Guo twice. Realizing she's about to be exposed, Wang rushes inside. Wang confronts Chu Guo loudly, pretending to be her father. He scolds her and removes her earpiece. The act convinces the Godfather that she is just a careless daughter. Wang casually chats with him and offers him an apple. Hidden inside the apple is a tiny camera, capturing a clear image of his face. The apple is dropped inside the elevator as Wang and Chu Guo leave. The Godfather continues watching them. To avoid further suspicion, Wang picks the lock of a random apartment and pulls Chu Guo inside. The woman living there panics. Wang restrains her to keep her quiet until the danger passes. Using the hidden camera, the surveillance team confirms that the Godfather exits on the 8th floor. Jin moves ahead and installs hidden cameras along that level. They identify the Godfather's residence as apartment 802. The team rents an apartment across the street to observe him. They collect his trash daily. Inside, they find torn Sudoku puzzles, all incomplete and impossible to solve. Inside his apartment, the Godfather spends his time popping bubble wrap. At the market, Wang continues pretending to be a neighbor. The Godfather strikes up conversation with him and subtly scans for hidden devices. Wang claims he has a gambling addiction and explains the calluses on his hands as damage from cards, not weapons. Wang invites the Godfather to dinner. To everyone's shock, he accepts. When the Godfather arrives, he carefully scans the room for bugs. During dinner, he places his phone on the table. Kyoko does the same and discreetly copies his data. The Godfather questions them repeatedly, checking for inconsistencies. Wang answers easily. He knows details about Chuguo's childhood that no outsider could know. Chuguo realizes that Wang has been secretly watching over her ever since her father's death. After dinner, the Godfather leaves. Back at his hideout, he orders Meng to investigate Wang and Chuguo. Meng reveals that he has already been watching them. Cameras were hidden in the apartment the entire time. At the police station, the surveillance team realizes they are being fed fake footage again. Someone knocks on Wang's door. When Wang opens it, he comes face to face with Wang, Meng's twin brother. A fight breaks out inside the apartment. Wang manages to disarm him, but Wang pulls a second gun and opens fire. The gunfire forces Wang to take cover inside the apartment. Furniture is destroyed as bullets tear through the room. Wang advances, firing again and again, forcing Wang to retreat deeper into the space. From another location, Meng watches everything unfold through hidden cameras. He is calm. This confrontation is part of his plan. During the dinner earlier, he hacked Chugo's phone, giving him access to live feeds inside the police station. Across the street, the surveillance team continues watching their screens, unaware they are seeing manipulated footage. On the monitors, Wang and Chuguo appear safe and stationary. Inside the apartment, the fight continues. Wang presses forward, forcing Wang to hide. Then, Wang receives a warning from Meng. The police are on their way. Wang then escapes by jumping from the balcony. Minutes later, Chuguo enters the apartment while the surveillance team still sees her elsewhere on their screens. Realizing something is wrong, the team rushes out to investigate, but by then, Wang is already gone. The next day, officers search the Godfather's apartment. In a cabinet, they find rolls of bubble wrap. Wang immediately connects it to the torn Sudoku puzzles. He realizes they form a code. The bubble wrap was used to read it through pressure. Before anyone can act on the discovery, a truck slams into the surveillance van. The impact sends it crashing into the police building. Armed mercenaries pour out. They attack the station directly. Police cars explode as bombs are triggered. Officers are gunned down in the corridors. Zumai quickly understands the truth. This is a distraction. She orders the surveillance team to stay on the streets and continue tracking the Godfather. Inside the wrecked van, Chuguo regains consciousness first. She drags Wang to safety, grabs a weapon, and joins the fight. She takes down several mercenaries with precise shots. Wang comes 2 moments later. Together, they fight side by side, eliminating the last attacker inside the building. Wang explains his discovery. The Sudoku puzzles represent Braille, and the Godfather decoded them using bubble wrap. He tells Chuguo to contact intelligence so the message can be decoded. As the remaining mercenaries continue attacking the station, power suddenly cuts out. Communications go dead. At the same time, 2 members of the surveillance team track the Godfather to an abandoned orphanage. Inside the orphanage, the Godfather walks into a trap. Thugs are waiting for him. He realizes Meng has betrayed him. Even wounded, the Godfather fights back fiercely, using his knife to defeat the attackers one by one. Back at the police station, Wang continues fighting mercenaries who are now specifically targeting him. A bounty has been placed on his head. He moves from room to room, taking blows but dropping attackers in return. Go searches for a way to restore communication. She finds a satellite phone and contacts Jin, telling him about the Braille code. Before she can say more, a mercenary attacks her. After a brutal struggle, she throws him through a window. Backup finally arrives. The remaining mercenaries are neutralized. Inside the orphanage, the Godfather stands among the defeated men, wounded but alive. He points his knife at the camera in fury. Then Wang appears. He admits the betrayal was his idea. He says the Godfather is too dangerous to be allowed to live. The 2 men fight. Both are highly skilled. They exchange brutal blows and crash through a window. Wong is stabbed in the stomach during the fall. The Godfather begins choking him. When Wong tries to use the knife, the Godfather turns it back on him and kills his favorite son. Police units begin closing in on the orphanage. Watching helplessly, Meng realizes there is only one option left. He detonates the explosives. After the explosion at the orphanage, debris settles across the ruined structure. The Godfather emerges from the wreckage, badly wounded but still alive. Police surround the orphanage. With no escape left, the Godfather lowers his knife and surrenders. He tells the officers that he is willing to cooperate. Back at the police station, Zumai reveals a critical decision she made earlier. After the previous operation, she ordered the CEO's cryptocurrency fortune to be transferred into a secure police server for protection. She leads Wong and Chu Guo to the vault. The safe is empty. Security footage reveals the truth. During the chaos of the Mercenary attack, the thieves disguised themselves as police officers. While everyone else was rescuing the wounded, they accessed the vault and stole the cryptocurrency. Later, Spice is brought back online. The system quickly identifies a suspicious van leaving the city. Police units pursue it to a hotel complex. When officers move in, the remaining adoptive sons split up to escape. Inside the hotel, Wong finds Meng hiding in a laundry room. The two engage in a violent fight. Two other thieves intervene, ordering Meng to run while they take Wong on together. Fighting as a synchronized pair, they overwhelm him briefly. Outside, Chugua notices a large public event nearby. She realizes Meng will likely disappear into the crowd. She searches but cannot find him. Meanwhile, the Godfather is being transported in a police vehicle. Yao returns his phone and orders him to call Meng. The criminal's devices cannot be traced, forcing Shuguo to search manually. Meng realizes the call is a distraction and begins moving again. Hugo remembers Wong's lessons. She spots a man repeatedly checking surveillance cameras and recognizes the behavior. At that moment, Meng remotely disables her earpiece. Back in the laundry room, Wong uses a concealed tool to knock one attacker unconscious and traps the other inside a washing machine. Inside the police vehicle, the Godfather drops the phone deliberately and attacks the officers. He activates a gas grenade, overwhelms them, and escapes. After removing his handcuffs, he describes Meng's appearance to the police. Jin finds Chiguo and gives her his earpiece before continuing the search on his own. Wong tackles a man matching the description, but it turns out to be a civilian. Meng has already changed clothes. Meng enters a train station. Jin follows him. The Godfather intercepts Jin and stabs him to stop the pursuit. Moments later, he catches up to Meng. Without hesitation, the Godfather stabs him repeatedly. As Meng dies, he recites the cryptocurrency password. It consists of 12 English words. Police arrest the remaining two adoptive sons elsewhere in the hotel. Hugo finds Jin, but he succumbs to his wounds. After Meng's death, the police have no immediate way to recover the stolen cryptocurrency. The funds have not been moved, and there are no digital trails left behind. With no further leads, the case appears stalled. Wong studies the situation and points out a critical flaw. The Godfather is an old-school criminal. He understands money, pressure, and leverage, but not modern cryptocurrency systems. Without help, he cannot access or transfer the stolen assets. Hugo realizes what that means. The Godfather must contact the businessman who owns the wallet. Later, Chuguo spots the businessman entering a hotel. She follows him and learns that the Godfather has demanded cash in exchange for the password. The meeting is scheduled to take place at a tea house. Instead of waiting for backup, Chuguo goes to the tea house alone. The Godfather immediately recognizes her. He remains calm and keeps talking, carefully watching the surroundings. Chuguo tries to stall him while police units move into position outside. The Godfather realizes this. Without hesitation, he knocks Chuguo unconscious and attempts to escape through the back. Wong has already blocked the exit. Inside the tea house, the Godfather attacks, using his knife to kill patrons in his way. Wong confronts him, and the two begin a brutal fight. Wong is stabbed multiple times as they crash through tables and tear apart the room, using whatever objects are within reach. They fall into a small storage area, forced to continue the fight on their knees. The Godfather stabs Wong again. Wong kicks him back, causing boxes to fall and strike him. Chuguo regains consciousness as the fight spills back into the main room. The Godfather moves to finish Wong, but Chuguo strikes him from behind. He turns on her instead. Wong intervenes and is slashed across the neck. The wound is serious but not fatal. Chuguo tackles the Godfather, giving Wong time to get clear. She then leaves Wong to search for the Godfather. By recalling small details Wong taught her to notice, Chuguo tracks him down and sends his location to the police. Officers seal off the surrounding streets. The Godfather attacks Chuguo one final time. Exhausted and weakened from the earlier fight, he is overpowered. He is arrested and taken into custody. Wong survives his injuries. The case is closed. In a post-credits reveal, it is shown that Wang and Meng had a third twin brother who was adopted by a foreign family as a child. After hearing the cryptocurrency password through the police station's security feed, he unlocks the account. Using the stolen fortune, he places a bounty on Wang, Chuguo, and the Godfather.